right, hey guys, we're continuing our podcast blitz here in the month of July. Welcome to the Winona State Football Players Association podcast. I'm excited today to be joined by Trevor Olson. Trevor's our offensive line coach, also has a ton of involvement with the program, coordinating our travel for our team, and does all of our community service work, which is so important. We're going to talk about some of that stuff today. Trevor, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
So maybe to start, Trevor, do you want to give us kind of your story, your path, kind of where you came from and how you ended up at Winona State and where you are today?
Yeah, for sure. Originally, I'm from the Twin Cities, grew up in Richfield, went to Richfield High School. From Richfield, I went to Northern Illinois, where I played for 4 years. And then when I got done playing, decided I still wanted to be around the sport. Thought NFL would be something that I could do, and they said no. So decided to get into the coaching route of things, and then spent 3 years as a graduate assistant up at the University of Minnesota when Coach Kill was up there. That's actually how I met Coach Fricky and that sort of stuff. So, and then from there, I was fortunate. I got a job down at Southern Illinois, where I spent 6 years as the offensive line coach down there in the Missouri Valley Conference, and then was able to get closer to home when Coach Bergstrom had the opportunity or got the job here at Winona State, and was able to get interviewed to be the offensive line coach here, and couldn't pass it up because it's an hour and a half, 2 hours from home. All my family's in the Twin Cities, so it was kind of a no-brainer for me to be able to come closer to home. So, and then I'm here today.
Cool. Coach Kill and Rebecca are an amazing family. I didn't know that about you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us your why. Like, what is it about football, about coaching that motivates you? Why is your passion still in football? What keeps you motivated? What gets you up in the morning to come do your job?
For me, it's the greatest game in the world. There's only so many games where you get, or it's the only sport where you spend a whole year training for sure 11 weeks, 12 weeks, where you're going to get opportunities to play, and you have to spend the whole year getting ready for those. But ultimately it comes down to, for me, if I wasn't coaching, I'd be a high school teacher. So it's more about impacting the adult or the guys that are becoming men into this, going to become in society. It's more about trying to impact those guys in a positive way, so that they're ready to be adults, leaving college, and just trying to influence the best way that I can.
So, Trevor, what is it about football, about coaching, about being around these kids that you think has such an impact on them that maybe they wouldn't have if they were just a student on campus at Winona State? Why is Winona State football, and why is your role so impactful?
I think it's just the influence that we can have, good and bad. I mean, we can kind of show them things that, hey, maybe I don't want to do that. I've learned that from my coaches and stuff like that, some stuff that I don't want to do that. But then you also, more of it is you take away things that, hey, coach is right about, hey, we got to work hard for what we want, and that type of thing. Just trying to instill those things that are going to carry them on throughout their life, and make their life easier as it goes, and kind of ways to handle turbulation and things like that in life, and just those, trying to be positive.
Yeah, I love it. So tell us about your group. You've been on campus now a little over a year, right?
Yep.
Tell us about your offensive line and where things are at with them and their development, and what's kind of stood out to you from last season now through the off season and getting ready for a fall campaign in 2023.
Yeah. I mean, kind of always as it goes is offensive linemen are kind of the guys that get put in the corner, kind of shoved off to the side until it's time to actually go do something. I love the group of guys that I got, because we don't blink at it when Coach Fricky needs extra practice space, and things like that. We're just going to go ahead and move. All right, we'll move down the field. So you guys got room to throw the football and do all that sort of stuff. But they're a great group of hardworking guys that come to work every day, and that's all that I can ask. They're gonna put their work in, and then they're going to give everything that they got for however long we're out there, however long it takes, no matter where we're at. I always tell them, we'll go play in a parking lot, we'll go play in the middle of the street, we'll go play wherever. Just let's go be ready to go. So, and they answer the bell.
Well, and a compliment to you and the entire staff and to the kids. Coming into last season, I think we all knew you had a small group in numbers, and a young group, but not a ton of experience, and ended up being a highlight of our team and our offense was that offensive line. And just being a spectator, knowing a little bit about football, you watch those kids play, and they played with effort and attitude every day, and that's coaching and that culture, and it's awesome to see. So yeah, I think you guys have made an impact, and it's only going to continue to get better, I would hope, right?
Yep. Yeah, no, for sure. And it all goes to those guys. I mean, I just try and help them along the way, but they're the ones that want to get pushed, and I mean, everybody wants to get pushed, so they do a good job of, I'll keep pushing them. They just keep on rocking. So
yeah. One of the things that I want to talk to you about that is so cool and important and relevant today is the work that you guys are doing in the community, with the youth, with nonprofits, with charities, with the community in general, whatever it is. Tell us about what you've done and what you're doing, and why that's so important for the program and for the university.
One of the coolest things that we've done in the last 2 years has been a Be the Match, bone marrow drive, through the Russ Talley Foundation, who's a nationally known foundation out more so on the East Coast. But we've been able to have 2 drives here the last 2 years. Really, it just takes about a couple hours of our time putting it together and that sort of stuff. And it's a 1-day deal for us, but it's a way for us to get possible matches for, and it's more so for the youth, kind of children in the area and things like that may have cancer or something like that, where they might need a blood transfusion or something like that. And we're able to just, by a swab of a cheek and having people register, be able to make an impact. Really, it ends up being nationally because everything goes into the national database. So who knows where it might get picked from or what have you. But that's a pretty cool thing that we're able to touch on and have an impact on. Couple of other things that we do is just in the local community is during the fall and spring, when the guys are in school, we go to the local elementary schools and for recess or reading in classrooms. Usually once a week, usually Fridays is the day that works best for the elementary schools and that sort of thing in town. And getting in, just it brings people to the stadium too, because they're able to say, hey, mom and dad, this football player came and talked to us, let's go to the game on Saturday or whatever it might be. So those are the 2 big things that I really enjoy, and kind of makes it easy to come to work. So
yeah, cool. Yeah, it's a tradition, longstanding tradition, I think, at Winona State to be heavily involved in the community and nationally. Honestly, I think back to my time on campus in the early 2000s after Hurricane Katrina, some of my best memories of Winona State football were with 25 guys that went down and helped with hurricane recovery after Katrina when I was in school. And in fact, just the other day, I saw it somewhere in my pictures. It came up, and I shot a note out to a bunch of my buddies, and they were like, "Oh, that was an awful week, but it was awesome," So it's part of the team thing, and we loved our time. So I'm awesome. It's super exciting to see you guys are continuing that tradition. Talk to us about logistics. So you travel coordinator for the team. That has been a huge issue and challenge the last couple of years through the pandemic and now inflationary issues and pressure. What are you guys working on, and where do you need help the most there right now?
I mean, it's more just it's more the inflation that causes a lot of it is just budget wise. We don't have the biggest budget. I mean, but we do have a good budget. Not saying it's bad or anything, but yeah, as everything's becoming more expensive to do, as getting hotel rooms and that sort of things for a reasonable price, and just becomes harder and harder. And but we're still able to manage and find those types of things. And with the price of gas, buses are expensive too, and that sort of stuff. So it's just all those little things that you don't necessarily think that adds up into it become kind of the bigger things that cause a little bit of the issues. So,
yeah,
make it work. So,
for sure. So you've got a diverse background with a bunch of really great coaches that you've worked for. If there's one of them that you've taken something away from that you think about every day or on a daily basis, who would it be and what is that?
I'd have to say, well, there's several of them first off, so it's hard to decision, but the biggest one for me is Coach Limegrover. He was the offensive coordinator, offensive line coach when I played at Northern Illinois, and then when I was GAing at Minnesota. So I spent a lot of time, pretty much every day for 6 years with him. He had a big development in just me understanding the game, from a X's and O's standpoint, a scheme standpoint, just because we spent so much time together as my position coach, and then the guy I was like working for at Minnesota. He put a lot of trust into me because when he was the offense coordinator on game day, I became the O-line coach because he was busy calling plays. So he had a lot of trust that I would get it done and do the job. So was forever thankful for that opportunity to have that amount of trust. But I would say all those coaches on Coach Kill's staff that coached me and then I was able to work with as a graduate assistant had a huge impact on me just from how to go about the job and still keep the priorities of family and faith and football in line and that sort of thing. So
side note, and this isn't meant to pick on Coach Limegrover, but have you eaten ice cream on the sidelines in November?
I have not.
I think that's the one thing I think of with him is that famous clip of him having a ice cream sandwich on the sidelines.
Are you talking about Minnesota?
Yeah, wasn't it Minnesota when that happened?
That was our headset guy.
Oh, headset guy. Never mind.
Yeah, Coach Limegrover was always up in the box.
He was always up top. Okay, well, never mind. Sorry, Coach Limegrover. Well, good. Well, you've never had an ice cream sandwich on the sidelines.
No.
And those of you that maybe haven't seen Coach Olson coach, he's probably one of the most intense guys on the sideline you'll see. So I don't think that would go too well. It'd end up like a milkshake or something.
It'd be smushed.
Yep. Well, cool. What else is coming up? What are you looking forward to running into camp? What are you guys working on, and what's going on this summer with the guys?
Right now, we got I'd say probably 85% of our team in town working out, running and doing all sorts of stuff, captains practices and things like that. So fired up about those guys making the commitment to be here this summer. As far as we're just getting ready as a staff, getting ready for fall camp coming up here in August, and we got one more camp coming up at the end of July, and then got our golf tournament on the 4th before camp starts in August there. So that's really all that we got going on right now. So
nice, cool. Season wise, what are you looking forward to this year, and how do we think you're going to see?
I like and I hate this question all the time because for me it's you never know until you play the game. I always go into it I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to have a great season and that sort of thing. But I always put the asterisk next to it is you gotta stay healthy and you got to do the right things and go about the process the right way. Nothing's going to be given to you, so you got to come to work every day. So I'm a big. I hear what you say, but I trust what you do is one of the things that Coach Kill would always say to us playing and when we were coaching. And I always go back to that when we're getting ready for the season. And so, we had a good year last year, but that was last year. This is a new team and we got to go out and prove it again and do it all over again. So, got to get ready to go and go about the process.
You looking forward to that long bus ride to Saginaw?
Yeah, I don't mind bus rides. I don't mind them at all. It's more the anticipation of getting off the bus and that sort of thing that gets to you a little bit and getting ready for the game. But I don't mind the bus ride. It gives you a chance to kind of be quiet, be around the guys, because it's just you and the guys on the bus. So it's another chance to touch those guys and bond with those guys.
I think our athletic director told me that it's actually a shorter drive than Minot from Winona. Is that true?
Yeah, by like 100 miles or something like that. It's not a whole lot, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's not too bad.
No.
Well, it's an awesome opportunity for our program, which I would like to think is a national power and has been for some time, to play another national power. With Upper Iowa leaving the conference, created this opportunity for us, and we're excited to see the product on the field. Has it been a mantra or a thought about that first game that you guys are thinking about, or is it living in the moment, day by day, getting better on your own 2 feet?
No, it's more of a day by day. Got to be where we're at, put our feet down on the ground each morning, and let's attack the task at hand today. Type of deal, because that'll take care of the rest at the end of the journey. So,
boom. Offensively, schematically, without giving out all the secrets, because this is a widely watched broadcast. I'm sure every defensive coordinator in the conference will see this. But do you guys think anything different will happen schematically? What will we see on the field product wise from the offense this year?
No, we'll be pretty similar. I'm gonna hang our hat on what we do. Gonna do our deal and play fast, play physical, and execute at a high level.
Cool. So August 3rd, golf tournament coming up. August 4th, sorry. Golf tournament's coming up. Where can folks register if they want to get involved and be a part of that?
Winona State footballcamps.com is the website where you can find the link to register your foursome or twosome, however you want to go about registering. Whole sponsor opportunities as well in that format. So
cool.
Everything's right.
And anybody can play. You don't have to be an alum. You don't have to be a player. You don't have to be a parent. Anybody can come, show up, hang out, and have a good time, right?
Yep. Anybody and everybody.
Cool.
Everybody's welcome.
Trevor, any closing comments or thoughts for us as it relates to what the FPA means to the program, means to you as a coach, and why it's so important?
No, I appreciate everything that you guys do as a program. It makes kind of the in-between between the current players, future alumni, and past alumni. It gives them a good opportunity, and you guys help our players out a ton. And I can't thank you guys enough for whether it be an internship, taking a guy under your wing, just that sort of deal. Just impact, like I said, when my big thing is impacting them for life after football. You guys do the same thing, and you guys continue to. So I really appreciate that from you guys, and it means a lot. And you guys don't get enough credit for the things that you guys do, and we really appreciate everything that you guys do for a program, because you guys do a lot behind the scenes that doesn't really get recognized, but we do appreciate it.
Trevor, I appreciate you. Thanks for being with us. Guys, thanks for joining the Winona State Football Players Podcast Association. Look for a couple more podcasts running up to the season. We're excited to see the products in 2023, and we're excited to continue to be a part of the program. Trevor, thank you for all you do.
Thank you as well, and go Warriors.